Well, today I'm going to help you make or show you how to make a very beautiful sunset, and I would love for you to do it with me and we'll make one together. Today you are going to need two things. You will need a piece of paper. It should either be blue, purple, it could be gray or black. It should be nice quality, so construction paper is totally fine, or any type of art paper you have. If you have only white paper, still do this with us and you'll just see the adjustments that you'll have to make as we go along, all right? And then we'll also need something called oil pastels. So if you have oil pastels, fantastic. If you do not have oil pastels, use chalk. If you don't have chalk, please keep doing this with us and just use crayon. We can make it work, okay? So this is what our project's going to end up looking like, or look like a variation of this. This is a sunset with a purple background. This is a sunset with a black background. And this is a sunset with a blue background. All beautiful, but you can also see that they all kind of change the effect. This has beautiful animals walking across it. When you add black, it gets a little spookier. I love this project. I've been doing this project for years. Everyone knows how to do a sunset, and this is me giving you a little spin, so hopefully you have fun making art with me. All right, so the very first color that we are going to need out of our oil pastel pack is white, and mine's broken. All right, now, you can see right here, there's this beautiful picture. A student gave this to me years ago, and I always use it when we do this project from here on out. So that's going to be up here as our little inspiration. All right, first thing that we need to put in is something called the horizon line. The horizon line is the line where the sky meets the land. Now this horizon line has a lot going on in it. So we are going to put in a land that has absolutely nothing grown in it yet, and we will add everything that's either built in or grown into the land later. Okay? So if you put your horizon line up really up high, it means you're going to have a little bit of sky and a whole lot of land. If you do it a little further in the middle, I think that's decent. But I want to show a great big gorgeous sunset. The fall where I live has the most beautiful sunsets. They're just gorgeous, and I'm sure they're gorgeous where you are too. So I want to show off our sunset. So I'm going to make a really low horizon line. So here we go. Let's do it together. Grab your white, and all the way off the page I'm going to start. And I'm going to make mine a little curvy. And you have to run it right off the page. Look, I drew on my board. It's totally fine. So one very thin line, which is the horizon line. Now we're going to make that thin line thick. We're going to make it thick by going back and forth. And I'm not going to go on the bottom. I'm going to go up into the sky now. So I'm going to take my white. I'm going to go back and forth and try to fill it in. Now, if you're working so hard that your hand gets tired, all I want you to do is shake your hand. But you really don't have to push that hard with oil pastels. Oil pastels are great. They'll go right on the paper. All you have to do is give a little bit of pressure. This lesson is so great because it shows you all about how one color blends into the next, just like a rainbow. Now, all the way, but I haven't quite gone off the page. My sunset needs to go right off the page. Okay, now, we're not making sunsets with big white lines because sunsets just don't have big white chunks in it. Why are we doing that? That's ridiculous. Well, the color that goes down with the sunset and lights up the sky first is yellow. And yellow is one of those colors that needs a little help. So we're putting white on to help out that color yellow. So if your pastels are like mine, I've got a whole bunch here. A friend of mine gave me these. You have lots of different colors. This one, you're going to be able to see through it a lot. This is a pretty good one, and this is on its way to being orange, so I'm going to take the middle yellow. Now, before we get going, I want to show you our color wheel right here. So this color wheel, we are going to start with our sunset, and we're going to blend in all of these colors until we get to blue. Blue is the last color we're putting in our sky. We will not be putting in green. If you have green in the sky, I would say a tornado's coming and you have to find cover. So we're not going to have scary skies. We're going to stop right at the blue. So let's start back at yellow. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to take my yellow. I'm going to bring it right down to my horizon line. And when you put an oil pastel on top of another oil pastel, boy, is that smooth. Okay, there we are. Beautiful. It's a big yellow line. We don't want a big yellow line. We want it to be soft. We want to look like it's natural. So if you have a blending stick, terrific. There are these blending sponges you can use. If you have a Q-tip, you can use a Q-tip, but I don't have any of those up here. And, you know, I could go down and get a Q-tip, but I don't even like using Q-tips. I prefer to use my finger. So if you have nothing else like me, use your finger. If you have a Q-tip or a blending tool, I want you to do the same motions. It's going to be very, very small, like you're tracing an itty-bitty Cheerio. A wonderful art teacher I taught with back in Reading. When I first became an art teacher, she used that analogy, and I love it. So here we go. You're going to take your finger. It's like you're tracing little Cheerios. I don't want you to go down into the horizon, into the land, off of our horizon line. But if you accidentally make a big mistake and you go into that horizon or the land from the horizon line, I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to shake it off and know that we are going to make this work. So don't worry about it. All right, blending, blending, blending. Now, lots of times when people do this, they really push down the paper hard because you think maybe if I push down really, really hard, then it's going to go happen faster and it's going to look really good. All that happens when you push down really hard is that your finger hurts. So don't push down hard. Slow and steady. And then as you do that, maybe you can see that it's starting to look a little more puffy, perhaps like a cloud. Made another big mistake. It's in my land. No big deal. I'm taking a deep breath. I'm going to make it work. Okay, now I'm going to move into the next color. If you're following along with me on the color wheel, we're going to go from yellow to orange. Okay. So I've got a couple different oranges in my palette. This is like a yellow orange, and that's like an orange orange. I'm going to use the orange orange. You can use both if you want to. You're the artist and you can do what you want. All right, I'm going to start with this dark one. Now, what's really important when we're blending colors is that there's an overlap. So that means we have to put our new color into the old color. And then we have to extend it up higher so the next color can go into that. So I'm going to take this. Now, instead of just going back and forth with lines, I'm going to start helping out my blending technique, and I'm going to add in that coil line, a circle. That coil line is a wrap. So we're wrapping it around. All right. So I'm going to go into my yellow. I'm going to go above my yellow. I don't know, maybe I'm going to go a little deeper in here. You know what? I feel like breaking my own rules. I'm going to take, or doing something I've never done before, I'm going to take that light orange. I'm going to put it in some of my areas, but not all of them. Okay, now once I'm done that, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to use it to blend those little Cheerios and create little clouds. It's starting to look good. even though I'm trying not to push down hard, I do sometimes, and it's a little hard. So I gotta shake my hand and keep on going. All right, that's starting to look really interesting. So sometimes when you see the texture, you think, oh man, it's not perfect, but texture takes art to another level too. And it's starting to look like maybe there's a lot going on there in the sky. The more circular it looks, the more it looks like clouds. All right, so the next color on my color wheel after orange is red. So I'm gonna grab some reds, and I've got 3 reds here. However many reds you have. If you have 1, you are in great shape. If you have 3, use all of them maybe. Use 1. Lots of times in art class, everyone just gets 1 because we have to share. So if you have this packed yourself, you're lucky. Now I love this red, but it is hard and it's dried out. So I'm gonna switch. And even though that's hard and dried out there, it's not gonna hurt anything. Ooh, this one is too. Oh my goodness, they're all dried out. All right, let's try it over here. All right, take my red. Maybe I'm gonna make my red really thick here and make it a little sliver down here and then big up here too. So then my viewer also really gets the impression that the clouds are moving. All right, and then for the fun of it, I'm going to take another red and put it right on top. Only in some areas though. And make sure you pull that red onto the orange, because without the overlap, the blend doesn't look that great. And once you're ready, you take your finger and you blend. All right, we're going to keep doing that all the way until we hit the top of the sky. All right, now what we're doing at the very end is, since I have so many different types of blues, I'm adding all my different blues kind of in the background, and I'm having fun. I'm going down into some areas. I'm adding some maybe blue in this area, maybe a little blue creeping in over here. All right, now this is the end of step number 1. My next video, I'm going to show you on step number 2 how to add in additional clouds, how to add in a moon if you want one, and then on step number 3, we're going to add in the silhouettes. So I'll see you on step number 2. Hope you had a great time at art with me. I'll see you later. Bye.